Welcome back, y'all, to this final Thirsty Thursday of the year. And y'all know how we get it kicked off. Curt, give them that game preview, man.
All right, yeah, y'all know how we get down. If you don't, welcome to a Thursday pregame edition preview, last home game preview of the season. So let's see how these teams stack up on paper before I kick it to the fellas for their breakdowns, and we'll go over the betting information as well. All right, so first up, let's look at these stats, man. Per score game, the Bears score 20, Lions score 26. They both give up 26 points per game, both the Bears and the Lions. Total yards per game, the Bears around 338 and the Lions at 385. Rushing yards per game, 158 for the yards passing, 158 for the Bears, 264 for the Lions. The number one ranked rushing offense in the league is the Bears at 179.7 per game. And the Lions are coming in at 16 at 120 per game. Yards allowed, 367, 423 for the Lions. Whew, giving up. But a lot of that still has to do with the earlier part of the season. Man, maybe last week added on to that because those numbers were coming down until the Panthers put up 500 yards against us last week. All right, passing yards allowed, 216 for the Bears, 277 for the Lions. Rushing yards allowed. Here's the flip-flop. When we paid them last time, we were giving up more rushing yards. But now it's the Bears. They give up 151 rushing yards on the ground to the Lions 145.9, excuse me. Let's go with the betting. Woo, the Lions are big, huge favorites still. There are 6-point favorites heading to this game. The over and under is 52 points combined, which the Lions will probably score 40 of those. You look at that, the money line plus $215 for the Bears. That means if you bet $100, you'll get $215 back. Negative 267 for the Lions. That means if you have to bet 267 to get 100. So looking at this matchup, man, just to be honest with you, this is that one of those games your ass bet. Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, y'all ain't got no excuse for this one. You ain't no excuse for this one. You come out, you smash their ass in the face, you kick their teeth in. You basically do what Carolina did to y'all last week. That's what you do, because they got a depleted secondary, they got a depleted defensive line, they got a depleted offensive line. It's just one of those games. You should go out there and you should just run this score up. Just be honest with you. That's just me. You look at this game. Do they have some? They have some good players. Most of their top players. Most of the top players in their secondary, except for Brisker, are already on the injured reserve. So at this game, this is a no excuses one right here. So this is the get back game. Get yourself right game. This is the game that everyone else was looking for to play against us this year and wasn't getting it, especially in that back half of the season. So this is the get right game before you head into Lambeau. You have to be able to control that line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, because on that defense you have to control the edges, and before we get into the breakdown, but you have to, because you got to keep that young fella Fields, man. You put him inside and it's a track meet, so you have to control that young fella. But this is a no excuse game for me. This is what I'm saying. I'm like, hey man, we should go in there and run their ass out of Ford Field. So what do you guys think about the matchup itself?
I think it's good, man. I picked this game on FanDuel. I used this game as my game where I double stack. So I picked Jared Goff, I picked Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I picked J-Mo because I feel like they gonna get naked on that field at Ford Field. That's what I feel like they finna cut up. So yeah, man, I stacked them, man, and I just feel like this that game where, like you said, Curt, you better get back right, get it right. Mm-hmm. Even if we miss the playoff, this better be that get back right game, like everybody have against us. Have it on the Bears. What you got, LL?
Yeah, that's what they better do. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna speak no negativity, but that's what they better do.
Yeah,
that's it. They know what they gotta do. They better go out there and do it.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, this is that. You better get yourself right You know, look yourself, take a hard look in the mirror after the last game and get yourself right. So, I mean, but even what they're saying, you know, in the pressers with Dan Campbell and even Jared Goff, they were like, yeah, we can't do that again. So to hear what Coach Jones and Ella had to say about this topic, tune into the full version of today's Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by Detroit Lions on the Prowl, right here on your home for Detroit Lions News and Room.